Steve Stacy coming at you from Stonelink Property Management, and today we are talking about the accidental landlord. Being an accidental landlord essentially means that you have come by way of a property, and that property you may have inherited, a family member may have aged out of a property, or you're moving. That's what we're commonly seeing as far as moving is, but the most important thing about being an accidental landlord is you have a property. It's pretty simple. So when you're looking at the property, you can start to think about how that property can work for you. And the way that you're going to do that is you're going to balance it between two things. Should you sell or should you hold, right? Sounds like a Clash song, right? Should you stay or should you go? Should you sell or should you hold? Well, listen, if you're going to do this, the first thing that you have to do is realize this is a business decision, and you can break it down into two categories. What does it look like to sell? What does it look like to hold? Okay, so the way to do that then is to look at the value of your property, right? If you're going to sell the property, you're going to get the asking price, maybe more, maybe less, or whatever, but you're going to sell the property. You're going to subtract whatever you might owe on the property, but there are other costs, capital gains costs, okay? That's going to be a big one. If you made money on the property, you're going to have to pay some taxes on that. The other thing is seller's agents, staging, all of the things that go with selling. Those are also going to contribute to some of your costs that are going to go in there, pull some money out of that sale price. On the hold side, understanding the value of the home as the home continues to grow with you. And how does it grow? Every month that you're paying a mortgage payment, you're gaining a little bit more equity. You are buying more of your property. The more that you own, the more equity into the property that you have. The next part is appreciating the appreciation, right? In Rhode Island, over the last 3 years, we've seen a steady about 10+% growth in the home prices. So if you, in 2022, owned a home that was worth $300,000, in 2025, at 10% year over year, you're looking at $400,000. That's another $100,000 in equity that you've had. So appreciating the appreciation and how it contributes to your equity is going to be really powerful. And then, of course, understanding maybe if you bought the house back when those interest rates were down around the 4s, maybe less, maybe a shade more. Well, borrowing at that doesn't happen these days. So if you're paying down that loan at a cheaper rate, it's going to add some value as well to you down the road. So understanding the value is going to take that, and then understanding what the power of equity is. If you're relocating and you sell your house, sure, you've got money that you can take, use that as a down payment and start paying on another house. But imagine that you could use that equity that is in the property that you own to secure another loan. That's part of the investment model, but the accidental landlord might not look at it as such. So understanding how equity can help you with your future decisions and the future things that you want to do is going to help you to make that good choice. So then, how do you balance out whether or not being a landlord makes sense? So being a landlord and making sense on that one is to understand cash flow, right? Say that you have a house where you're getting $3,000 a month in rent and your all-in costs are $2,800. 3,000 minus 28, you're positive $200, positive cash flow. It's pretty simple. Conversely, you could be paying $3,000 a month in all of your payments and only getting $2,800. So what does that mean? You are negative cash flow. So the costs that you have to consider are things like mortgage, insurance, your maintenance costs, the management fees, or the possibility of doing things wrong, not having the right solutions, a vacancy. There's a number of things that you do have to consider that is going to affect how your property performs. But there's one thing that I like to point out to people that's kind of an aha moment from time to time. That's when you are looking at a property that is negative cash flow. Say that you're negative $200. Ask yourself this: are you losing $200 a month on that property, or are you buying that property and the equity that comes with it for only $200 a month? Weigh that out as well when you're considering being a landlord or selling the property. And then the next question becomes, can you be a landlord? Do you have what it takes to be a landlord? Do you understand tenants? Do you understand how to remove emotion with tenants? Do you know how to get tenants? Do you know how to perform maintenance? Do you know how to perform maintenance from where you are? Do you understand eviction laws? All of the things that becomes the headache of being a landlord that many people shy away from. Of course, at this juncture, you want to ask yourself, I do want to be a landlord, but maybe I can't be. Because if you can't be a landlord, it's time to talk to somebody that can, okay? But the real question that you have to ask is, do you want to be a landlord or an investor? And I can differentiate this real quick for you, which is a landlord works for their property. An investor has their property work for them. And they can do that. You can be an investor with your property by partnering with a skilled property manager like Stonelink Property Management. You want to find a good fit. You want to find the right solution for you. And if that's something that you want to explore, well, I'd always encourage you to give me a call, drop me a line or an email. Happy to explore that option with you and see how being a landlord might help you achieve your financial goals. So until next time, the next video that I'm doing, this is Steve Stasek with Stonelink Property Management. Looking forward to helping you make that decision on being an accidental landlord.